It's Talk Point again on Lagos Television, and we're happy to have you join us. My name is Omololu Rosonwo. Today on Talk Point, we'll be looking at preparations for the Lagos local government elections that will be coming up on Saturday, July 12th. It's just a few days to the election. We'll be looking at the preparations and also the expectations from the electorate, from the police, and also the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. I have a guest in the studio that will be analyzing that with me. He is a legal practitioner and also a social affairs commentator. His name is Celestine Ilo. Celestine, nice to have you on Talk Point.
It's always a pleasure being in the house.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yes, let's look at preparations. Are you aware that elections is coming up on Saturday, because it has already been stated in the guidelines and it's been announced some few months back? Are you aware of the preparations for elections on Saturday, July 12th?
Good afternoon, Nigerians. Yes, of course, an average Lagosian is aware, by virtue of some activities going on in Lagos, that there will be an election coming up on the 12th day of July 2025. And as you can see, as I saw by myself, some party secretariats are busy. Though I've not witnessed campaign for some time now, but last 2 weeks, there are some kind of activities, particularly in the Ikeja axis, some kind of Agege axis. I witnessed some even in Iju, Ishaga axis. There are some kind of, even Ogba. There was a point, this Acme Road was a no-go area because the party secretariat is along that axis. And there were a lot of serious activity going on in those locations, courtesy of party activities. So, and predominantly, I noticed that it was APC that is dominating that kind of campaign I witnessed. And some few occasions I saw PDP guys making some kind of impact, particularly on social media and YouTube. If you watch closely on YouTube and some kind of interview on radio, you will see them making impacts in that direction. But on ground, in Lagos generally, I witnessed that APC is making a lot of progress in terms of campaign. They are going around the different locations with drums and pasting posters. So I don't know particularly if it was by virtue of this Lagos State law on pasting of posters that restricted a lot of, because that restricted some kind of normal way of campaigning, where people now they paste their posters everywhere. But you can see it's not littered this time around everywhere. It's just majorly on footwork and social media activities.
Yes, okay, yes. I think I should just touch back then. We'll not talk on that there, because before now we used to have everywhere littered with posters defacing everywhere along Lagos. But over the years, there has been regulation by the signage agency to say, look, if you want to bring your posters or you want to paste your posters, you must place it properly where it will not litter everywhere. Maybe that explains why posters are not littering everywhere. But you mentioned something on elections and campaigns, where you talked about the APC. Yes, that's the ruling party in Lagos, but what areas or which areas did you also notice elections, and which political parties did you see having their activities?
Well, particularly there's one youth political party I witnessed that was online. I saw them making impact. That's Etiosa. They are making impact seriously in Etiosa. PDP is making impact in around Surulere axis, Yaba axis too. You know, they are almost close border. So these are the areas, but while in Agege, Ogba axis and Ikeja, you see APC holding sway They are struggling on ground, making campaigns, going around with their campaigns, particularly posting of posters. You see them posting, everywhere is littered with posters. I've not seen anywhere, I've not seen any PDP or Labour Party poster anywhere, but you can see predominantly APC posters are, if you get to this Penn Cinema Bridge now, you see the impact. There are a lot of posters there signifying that they are campaigning in that vicinity, though you will not see any other political party poster in that vicinity. So there are some kind of campaign, but I believe that was why, majorly, why people, these political parties are not swinging into action like that, because they are scared of that environmental law that banned littering of environment. And this fear of dominance by APC in Lagos State is affecting them too. Majority of them might feel, we can have our say, why APC will have their way. So that's Nigerian politics for you.
Let me take you up on that. Why should that be fear of dominance when you know you have credible candidates also that can also compete with any candidate probably which the APC will field or any other political parties? Where should that be fear of dominance when your people know that you have the integrity to also contest and you'll be voted for?
No, you know, a house that is divided within itself cannot withstand pressure. If you look at Nigerian politics as it stands now, it's unfortunate that at the federal level, state level, they're already playing politics while the calendar is not yet due for it. So at the national level, APC is PDP is having fighting the battle of their life. Labour Party is fighting for existence too. So automatically it affects their structure at the grassroots level. So automatically you see it will affect whoever that is vying for position, because it's only when the federal is strong that you can compete favorably with other political parties. As it stands now, the two dominant political parties, the two close political parties to APC, that is PDP and the Labour Party, are fighting for their survival, courtesy of court rulings here and there, judgment, party interests here and there. They are even talking about alliance, which none of them knows whether the foreign factions don't even know where they stand in the parties. So you have different factions saying they are going for alliance, some say they are not going. So you see, they are now centered on presidential activities, while the while the local government election is running. It's almost 2 days to go. And they are still fighting over who becomes the president. They are not interested in the local level. And I think that is why most of the young men that are fighting for seats, local government seats here and there under those two, APC and the PDP and the Labour Party, are like scared of taking some kind of bold step in the direction of competing favorably against APC. So it's a matter of a house that divided itself will hardly stand.
Okay, just like a day or two back, our crew were at the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission office, and the Commissioner of Police assured that there will be adequate security for everybody concerning Saturday. And he also said that there will be restriction of movement on that day. Vehicular movement, the way he put it, vehicular movement will be restricted. But for those on essential duties, they will be allowed to move around. Now, I want us to look at that report. The producer will play that report of the signing of the agreement. Then we'll now come back to discuss that. The need to ensure peaceful conduct during the Lagos local government election on Saturday, July 12, necessitates the signing of this peace accord by the political parties. It is at the instance of the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASEC.
Let me reiterate that LASEC is committed to neutrality. The process will be free, it will be transparent, it will be fair and inclusive. But peace is a shared responsibility. We count on your cooperation to uphold this accord before, during, and after the elections.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, is at the LASEC office to witness the signing of the peace agreement.
All the representatives of all the security agencies will be there. Then the LASEC will be there so that we can address promptly any security concern. Mind you, any agency of state in terms of security agent or agency will not partake in the election. It's only federal agencies that were recognized under the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security that will partake in the election.
With additional 8,000 policemen to be deployed to join those in Lagos, Jimo says there is synergy with other security agencies to provide cover for residents. He adds that there will be a show of force on Thursday, the 10th of July, and movement restriction on Saturday, July 12. 15 political parties are present at the peace agreement, but issues of non-acceptance of forms for some of their candidates by LASIEC after the stipulated time is of concern to the parties.
Nobody is perfect. The commission is not perfect. We are not perfect. That's why we can shift ground for each other. But that is not happening.
There are cases of money being paid. Now let's agree. Let's not drag it further. Window has closed. There's nothing the commission can do. Their hands are tied. What happens to this money paid?
Some people came with female forms. Female forms filled by men. And some of them, we asked them, where did you get this form? The person said, my vice chairman gave me. The vice chairman stood there and said, I did not give you. There is another where somebody withdrew and they wrote a letter. We were all right with that. Not only one party, we had more than one. When you withdraw, you take another form because the form the person wrote had filled it.
The outcome of the meeting by the political parties under the aegis of Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) through its public relations officer George Ashiru of the ADC is that they will not sign the peace agreement if LASIEC does not collect the forms or do a refund. But two political parties, the APC and the Youth Party, signed the peace agreement.
Suggestion has been raised that in the absence of that, if for any reason, for legal reasons, because whatever we all sign, that means all of us have agreed to. Anybody that wants to work afterward is null and void.
With less than 5 days to the Lagos grassroots election, plans are already in advanced stages for the sensitive materials. But the body language of the LASIEC chairman, Justice Bola Okikiolu Ihile, retired, does not show any sign of shift, as elections will, however, hold on Saturday, July 12. Omololu Rosanwo, LTV News. You're welcome back. That was the peace pact, the peace agreement signed by some political parties at the LASIEC headquarters about 2 days back to ensure that there is peace and tranquility before, during, and even after the elections. We also saw that the Commissioner of Police is assuring that security will be tight and that additional policemen will be added to those in Lagos to ensure that everywhere is security tight and that people should come out. And he also said there will be restriction of movement, of vehicular movement on that day. Celestine, you just heard that report, and there were only two political parties signed that agreement out of about 15 of them, based on some issues they say that LASIEC did not attend to. The LASIEC is also saying, look, there was a time frame that you ought to have submitted and you didn't submit. How would you want us to do it? And that as of that Monday, how would we do it if we continue to accept and we have to also print some sensitive materials and it takes time to distribute and everything like that? So in that case, what would you say to what is happening now?
Well, every political activity have a time frame under Nigerian laws. Even INEC stuff, no talk less of Lagos Independent Electoral Commission. They should be. I think they have a time frame. They have a guideline, political guideline for local government election in Lagos State. So I believe the political parties must have been exposed to that guideline. So if you have a guideline that you have to follow, and you are in one way or the other shortenfall of time as stipulated by the guideline, you are defaulting. So at that instance, you're on your own. because the law is a respecter of nobody in ideal situation anyway, not in Nigerian context, but in ideal situation, we assume the law is a respecter of nobody and is meant to be obeyed. So if the umpire, which is the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, have set up a guideline, and the same was passed by the House of Assembly, I think it's binding on every party. So irrespective of the fact that there's no perfect arrangement anywhere. We are all striving to have a good society. We are striving to ensure that things get better. So our democracy is supposed to be evolving. We want it to grow. The better, a good language. We expect the democracy to be growing so that people will have free mind to come out and vote. Because what matters most is people coming to exercise their rights, their franchise. That's the most important, primary aim. But the act of some individuals now, this party, in the party representatives, is like they are creating that fear already in the minds of some people that this is not going to be a free and fair election. So, and once that's set in the mind of people, they will tell you there's no way I will go and expose myself to the rain and sun. At the end of the day, my vote will not count. So, but as the umpire have stated, have made their own stuff, we expect them to come out clearer now with some kind of campaign, online campaign, television awareness campaign to educate the people on the need to come out and vote. That this particular issue they're talking about, maybe sign or no sign of documents, have nothing to do with their own preparation because they're adequately prepared. The police that are on ground, assuring us that they're bringing extra manpower to ensure that this stuff comes to be. So there's no way you expect a perfect arrangement anywhere where you are expecting to have 367 councillors elected.
376.
And these things have to be done even a month before now. Because since the INEC is telling you they are running short of time. So if you keep LASEC, they are telling you they are running out of time. If you keep on shifting, collecting some documents and moving forward and back, the process will not be complete because some names will be omitted. So I believe this might not flaw. What matters most is for the political parties to understand that they have the game. What do you call it? A guideline. And that guideline is supposed to have been exposed to them before even that date.
Yes, I recall that because I was part of that meeting and we were there to do the coverage which we just showed on air. But the claim of some of those political parties is that last year too did not start early enough to give them time. But LASEC is saying there is a time lag. We have set all these things right. Even if we have not started 6 months before. We started sometime in January and we rolled out the guidelines. And even that, some of your people had problems, mix up. Take for instance, according to what the LASEC chairman said, that some male will collect, female will fill. And you know, there are different forms for everybody and they didn't submit on time. But they are also asking for refund. Is that possible?
So it depends on what the law says about refund. If the law permits it, it's returnable. If it doesn't permit it, you can go to court and iron that out. But that's not the primary objective of an average delegation. What we want to see is a free and fair election where life will not be lost, where people will exercise their rights without fear of favor, where somebody's vote will count, where security, there will be confidence in the Lagos State Electoral Commission after the election, so that at the end of the day, everybody will assume we have a fair ground to participate, and we have even ourselves, and the result have come out, and it's assumed that is free enough. So in a situation where you fill forms, you didn't fill form, and all this, at the end of the day, election was not even conducted, or it was marred with irregularities. It means the essence of the whole thing is defeated. So I believe that Lagos State government, particularly the umpire here, should raise their standard. They should raise the bar a bit by going far now to educate the people about this, because if they create empathy, and I believe that's what most of the political parties are trying to create already, if they create empathy where people don't come out to vote, it will look as if it was rigged or if it was arranged to favor a particular political party, and that way they are trying to sway the whole issue to. I believe that the electorate, some of them are ready. Anybody that wants to vote is ready. If you like, give them public holiday. No, anybody that wants to vote will not come out. If you like, except they want to sell their vote. Some of them that made up the mind to sell votes. If anybody is buying anyway,
that's punishable by law. That's also punishable by law. So it is expected that every electorate or every voter, let me put it that way, will come out and vote for the candidate of their choice. and that when they come out and vote, they stay by their votes, they ensure that it is counted, because when it is counted, you understand, then results will be announced at those levels up to the levels at the local government, because it's a decentralized system, but the coordination will be from LASEC office. So in that sense, now, and the fees, just I also need to mention that the fees, is, according to the LASEC law, is non-refundable. So I don't know if LASEC will now want to accede to their decision. But from what we heard the chairman say, she said that elections will still go on and that everything will be done in accordance with the LASEC laws. In situations like this, what is your advice for the electorate as they come out? We have about 7 million eligible voters in Lagos, and they're expected to vote for the chairman or the councillor of their choice.
Well, I think from records we have about 15 political parties that are participating in this election. And though as every Lagosian would say that this is a APC state, and it's expected the APC will win by virtue of the fact they're on ground. So, but that not debate. We have seen in this Lagos where some local governments were won by APCA have won the local government here. I think PDP have some local government here. So ordinarily, we expect such an even playing ground for everybody. So we expect them to keep on campaigning, come out in mass, and vote. Because what matters most is the umpire. And you can see here, they are doing everything within their own bounds to ensure that the confidence is there. So on the part of the security aspect of it, if additional 7,000 policemen are drafted into Lagos for this purpose, I think is large enough to ensure that people's rights are protected. What matters most to me is allowing people to exercise their franchise. Let them come out, allow them to vote for the candidate of their choice, and they return home with, announce, ideally, after the whole exercise at the polling booth, you announce result there. So they go to the next stage, where they now go to collection centers and all whatnot. So what matters most, after the election, let it be fair and fair. Let there be security. This aspect of Agboros coming out to prevent people from voting or asking you who do you want to vote for should be a thing of the past. Let us forge for a new Nigeria. We are expecting a presidential election coming up in 2 years' time. Let's use to showcase that Lagos can do better than this. And if the confidence is there, you can see everybody saying, okay, since we have gotten it right here, we can get it right in another state. Unfortunately, you cannot please everybody. Ideally, you cannot please everybody. But let the majority have their say now that we have gotten a good election in Lagos State.
Yes, I want to tell you that time is not really on our side. And on that note, we'll be calling it a day on Talk Point. I want to thank you so much, Celestine Ilo, for being part of Talk Point.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes, Saturday, July 12th is the election day at the Lagos local government level, and it is expected that every resident, about 7,060,000 eligible voters, are on the list, which is provided by INEC, which LASEC will be using. It is expected that everybody will come out on Saturday and vote for the candidates of their choice, the chairmanship candidates in the 57 local governments, comprising 20 local governments and 37 LCDs, and also the 376 councillorship posts that are available. It is expected that everybody will come out and vote for the candidates of their choice. Violence is not allowed. It is going to be a smooth election, which, according to the police, are giving us that assurance. And LASEC too is also ready to provide all the required ballot boxes and papers to be used for that election. On that note, we have come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 still remains the lines to call in times of emergency. Stay out of trouble, ensure that you do what is right to make Lagos and indeed Nigeria better. I am Omololu Rosonwu, saying bye-bye.